find my gloves. Tag some people real fast. I hope I'm getting everyone. Now, there were quite a few people who were interested in seeing this one, but they can always go back and watch. We're going to be doing a wood-grained, crackled wood grain, but I have to go get some gloves. Thought I was completely ready, and I wasn't. I'm sorry. Okay, so let me show you everything we're going to need, and then we'll go on down. We will be doing a crackled wood grain today. Basically, it's taking two concepts that I've already taught, putting them into one. Hello, Joseph. I hope my little thing today was able to help you out. You were able to get your stuff cut. I'm going in here and seeing if I could possibly get online, just in case you guys ask some questions and I don't see it. I see me. Now, what we are going to be, we're not using any glue, because a lot of people have learned how to do the crackle using glue. We're going to be using the Crackle Medium. I got this online, but it is the folk art home decor. Hobby Lobby, I think, has all the folk art stuff. So if you decide that you want to try it this way, I promise. Oh, I don't like listening to my own voice. So if you decide to try it this way, I promise it's never failed me. I've never been able to do it with the glue, but I've been able to do it with this. So, of course, you're going to need your cup. I spray painted mine brown just because it's supposed to be a tree. You can spray paint it any color you want. It can be light or dark, whichever one you decide you want to have. You're going to need 3 brushes. You're going to need one for the crackle. You're going to need one for your acrylic paint. This is the color I've decided to use. I've also used white. It works just as well. And then you'll need one for your alcohol inks. So, and it's really, really simple. Just make sure that you have your gloves on, because once the alcohol ink is on your hand, you know how that goes. Hello, Miss Patty. Welcome aboard. So I'm going to bring you guys down so that you can watch what I'm doing and not watch me talk. Please let me know if you're not in the picture. If I'm not in the picture, I watched my video the other day and I was not in the picture very well. So, as I said, we're going to do the wood grain using the Crackle Medium. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get it so y'all can see the cup more. Okay. Basically what this does is once it gets onto the cup and it dries, it causes anything that goes above it to crackle. That's something you need to remember when you're doing this, because if you put a layer on top of it and then put a layer on top of the layer, the only part it's going to crackle is what's touching it. Remember that when I tell you, when we go through this. All right, so all you're going to do is reach into your Crackle Medium. It is not very pleasant looking. It looks just like this. And it's making a mess, but I wanted to show you. And all you're going to do is brush it on. The more you brush on, the more it's going to crackle. So you don't want to go sparingly. You want as much of this that will go on without it dripping off. The spots are okay. And always remember, you can always add more of this. You cannot add more of the paint once it's on. And I guess I need to say the word doohickey for certain people on here. I'll remember my words tonight, I promise. I just don't want it to drip off. I couldn't remember my words the other night for the life of me. And when a friend contacts you and asks you how much your doohickeys are, and you don't remember saying the word doohickey, that was funny. And it's just going on smooth and clear and shiny. And then the next thing you're going to hear me do is I have my, my heat gun behind me. I'm going to go dry it. Now, normally what I would tell you to do is this is the time to put it on your drying rack, walk away, start another project, whatever you decide. But for time purposes, I'm going to speed it along. Now, you can speed it along if you want. Totally up to you. I know some people don't like to use their heat gun too often on their projects, so it's totally up to you. And I was talking to someone earlier. This is a really fun stuff to use on glass. You can use alcohol ink on the inside of a glass and make it look like a stained glass, and then put this on the outside. I'll have to find the link. It's on, I watched it on Pinterest the other day, but it makes a really pretty stained glass when it starts crackling. Okay, I'm going behind. Talks amongst yourself. I gotta turn my heat gun on. Might take a little bit because there's quite a bit on here. If I had a longer cord, I could bring it over and let y'all watch it dry. But I think I'm doing a pretty good job washing it for you guys. Now, I'm using an embossing gun because I find that if I use my heat gun, it gets too hot and causes the crackle to bubble, and you don't want that. You just want it to dry enough. Oh, you fuzzy, see my patriotic camo? Yeah, I haven't done anything with it yet. I was going to do a peekaboo on that one. I have the fireworks already cut out, and then I was going to do the other side, the Pledge of Allegiance under God. But I haven't quite gotten there. I've been in the process of working on something really fun with Stephanie. We are slowly coming up with our concept. I cannot wait so I can show you what we've come up with. I will tell you that we've done all the research and it's nowhere around at all. Yeah, I'll have to get my husband to bring it over. I don't want you to get busy walking over there. I'll bring my drying rack over, and basically it's 2 pieces of wood that he put holes in the top of, which is really great. In fact, when I get done with this, I'll go get it and let you see it. It's super simple. Hello, Miss Candace, how are you? No, I don't use Mod Podge to crackle. I don't like to use the glue. It never worked for me. So I use the Crackle Medium, which is what you see on the table right now, Keith. I don't know why I've never been able to get the glue to work. I always get this to work. My stuff's drying. It's almost done. Or do you need to go by Tanya? I don't know which one, Tanya or Keith. You've got Keith, Tanya, Farrow. So I don't know who I'm talking to. But I do use this Crackle all of the time. In fact, it's pretty much dry. The Crackle Medium that I'm using right here is from Walmart, and this is dry. All I did was dry it with the heat gun. Now the next thing we're going to do is apply our, okay, you are now officially Tanya from now on. We're going to apply our acrylic paint. I'm going to use a soft brush to do this. Now here's where I was telling you need to remember this. You're going to start from either the top and the bottom and go either down or up one time, because the only thing that's going to crackle is what's touching the Crackle Medium, whether it is the glue or it is the, see if I have a better brush. I've seen people use, I don't want to use that. Okay. Now this is just the color that I chose. You can use whatever color you want. This is, I can't tell you because I tore the paper off. No clue. It's tan. It's kind of a skin color. So when you put this on, top to bottom, bottom to top, one time, one good streak. So make sure that you have enough paint to do it. I'm going to go from top to bottom. Okay, just like that. And now you're going to go to the next, right next to it, and you're going to go top to bottom. Guys, look, it's already crackling. And yes, there is a little extra overflow. That's okay. Don't mess with it. Top. Curtis. Come here, please. Okay, again, lots of paint. Top to bottom. You can see it's already starting to crackle. It's going to get even better when I heat it up. Top to bottom. One stroke. Not four, not three. And I'm going to tell you what, ask me how I know. But if you do more than one stroke on it, it'll leave this really funky stuff. Look. I'm not touching that. That's going to dry and it's going to be just fine. Top to bottom. Just like that. One more time. Top to bottom. All right, one stroke each time. Hello, Miss Vicky. Your stuff is in the mail. Just like that. Now I'm gonna go heat it up with my heat gun. Now something I saw, look. Something that I did see online is somebody put it in front of a fan and it did some really cool crackling. But this is already crackling. So I'm gonna go heat up the paint so that we can move on to the next step. This one is turning out so pretty. I don't know if I should give it away or not. What do you guys think? Yes. Well, you can't have both of them. You can't have the red, white, and blue camo and the wood grain. I'm joking, Linda. I'm picking on you. The spots that had the thicker, all right. 2 people have convinced me. 3 people have convinced me. All right. I'll tell you the secret word at the end. Because when y'all see what this is done, you're going to want it. This is probably the prettiest crackle I've ever done. Now the last one I did like this, they had me come in and put the Chevy metal around the bottom, and that was really pretty as well. So who's ready to see it? It is real pretty. Guys, I'm telling you, that glue is great, but this is better. I love this stuff. It is so pretty. Now these little spots right here that are thicker probably need a little more time to dry, but I just don't have that kind of time. So I'm gonna let it sit for just a second while I clean up my mess. But look how awesome that is. And that is just that Crackle Medium. Every time I've used it, I've gotten a really pretty crackle from it. So the next thing you have to remember is that when you do your wood grain, which is what we're about to do, you have to go lightly because I've got a dark background, I've got a dark crackle. You don't want to use really dark alcohol inks. I'm cleaning my brushes right now. Because if you do, you'll lose that crackle. However, when you put your epoxy on it, you'll still be able to see the crackle. So that's why I was saying, if you decide to do it, what you decide to put on the bottom is completely up to you. I just used the Rust-Oleum Satin Brown. That's all I used. Let it sit for a couple of hours and it was ready to go. All right, let me clean up my mess here and move on to our wood grain. Whew, that heat gun heated up my room. Hot in here. I've been working on fishing lure cups all afternoon. So I've got fishing lure vinyl everywhere. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and use some white for our alcohol ink. Now, the alcohol ink I've chosen to use will be a little bit of teak wood. Now, let me tell you something about teak wood. When you seal teak wood, it's gonna turn green. If you seal it under a spray, like the KVS Diamonds coat that I use, it's not gonna turn brown again. So, if you decide to use the teak wood, you need to make sure that you seal it with Mod Podge first. I do use a little bit of green, the oregano. This, for whatever reason, doesn't turn green under a sealer. I'm also going to use some mushroom, a little bit of each one. But always remember that if you use, I'm going to heat this a little bit more. If you use your spray sealer, it's going to turn that teak wood green. I've had people say that it turns back, but if you use a spray sealer, it's not because it's sealed underneath that sprayer. Got a couple of wet spots over here I don't want messed up. I think that'll do it for now. I just don't want it messed up when we put that alcohol ink on it. All right. Now, I always use my gloves. I do not like alcohol ink touching my fingers or my nails, so I would suggest using gloves. My hands are wet, and this one's not going to work. What did I do with my gloves back here? Oh, I have a big old box of green gloves and they're missing. Oh well, we'll put this one on. All right, guys, cross your fingers. I am not a doctor. I do not know how to put these on. I see my green gloves there across the room. All right, I only use them on the hand that squirts the stuff. I've been doing it this way for about 6 months, and this is the only way. I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the teak wood. And oh, let me show you my brush. This is a paintbrush from the paint department. My dogs just heard somebody had the nerve to walk by my house. This is from the paint department. This isn't from the art department. I'm gonna shut my door, hold on. So when I pulled it in here for my wood grain, I cut it up a little bit more because I want there to be that uneven edge on the top. So pretend it's your Barbie when you were 5 and decided to give your Barbie a haircut. This is what it's going to look like, okay? Now we're going to take our alcohol ink, and this is the fun part. You can do it however you want. Have my glove on the wrong hand. I guess we're not using gloves. I have it on the wrong hand. All right, here we go. Again, we're gonna only put a little bit, just like this. And I go up and down. And there's the crackle. And let my thumb. I should have left that on, huh? This is the oregano. I like to add a little bit of green to mine, like a moss. So that's why I use this one. Always remember, alcohol will remove alcohol. So when you put it on, it's going to start moving that alcohol around. After this dries, I'll do a quick tutorial on how to do the knots. Those are fun. All right, I'm putting a little bit of mushroom on, which is a little bit browner. You can tell where that paint's not quite dry yet. A little bit of teak wood. I don't know any tree that looks exactly the same all the way around. And this is what the crackle's starting to look like. After this is done and it dries into this acrylic paint. Look at my nail, guys, look. I will come back in and I'll do a little bit more. This is why I like to let my stuff dry on my drying rack that I'm going to show you in just a minute. And I just keep going back and forth with all of the different colors. No rhyme or no reason to anything that I do. Three different colors. And using the brush that looks like Barbie hair gives it a little bit of that authentic, I think I'm a tree look. Now, you cannot, and I'm going to repeat this, if you decide to do the knots in here, you need to make sure that this is completely dry before you do that, because it will cause your paint to lift. Your acrylic paint is not real happy about lifting, being brushed around too much. Ask me how I know. Bit of texture in there. right here, a little bit of texture. Okay guys, so my mother's an artist. She's a beautiful artist. And I sent home with her some resin that I want her to paint on. She's gonna paint on it for me. And then I'm gonna put some epoxy on top. I think it's gonna be so pretty. There's your Crackle. And again, we're gonna go back in with some more brown once this dries up a little bit. And we're going to add more to it. Remember, we're working with acrylic paint, so it's soaking into that acrylic, but you're gonna see a humongous difference when you get through here with your second. The difference between this and normal wood grain is that you have that your Crackle underneath. And so it's kind of, it acts like, well, Elmer's glue. So if you lift on it, it's gonna lift up like Elmer's glue, which is why you have to wait for it to dry before you start messing with adding in your knots. You have to let it have some time to dry completely. I don't know if you've ever messed with acrylic, and if you have, you know what I'm talking about. But because of the wood grain, you have a different effect to it. I'm gonna go in just a second while we're on, and I'll add a little bit more brown. Go do the bottom. I like to do it in a circle because it's the bottom, and it is like where you cut your tree. That's just me, completely however you decide you want to do it. A little circle. I'm gonna go in here with some more brown. It's that beautiful teak wood that turns green for whatever reason. That's what I'm putting in here. A little bit of brown. Oh, missed some spots. Now, if you probably notice when I do my wood grain, I don't go side to side. I go up and down only. Choose it. Only go up and down or go side to side, but you can't do both. It doesn't work. Remember, don't leave. I'm about to give the magic word. And I need to know if you won the leather and lace cup. Would you message me later on, please? I need to talk to you about it, please. Add it a little bit here. Let it do what it wants to do. Move it around a little. And then if you move it up, add a little bit more. Move it around. It'll give it a little bit of texture. And always remember, alcohol will remove alcohol. So if you put it on, the alcohol ink will remove an alcohol ink. Which is why I'm not too worried about my thumb. Okay, now this needs to sit and dry a little bit because right now my acrylic paint has gotten wet again. So all it's doing right this second is moving around and becoming muddy, and I don't want it this muddy, so I'm gonna let it dry, and then I'm gonna come back in and add some more brown to it, like this, so that it will pull away from that brownie, that brown muddy look. But I'm going to give it a little bit more texture, a little bit more personality. And now I'm going to go get what I use for my drying rack. Now keep in mind, I've been using it for 3 years, so it's very loved. It's very used. It's very covered in glitter. But since you guys are, that's what I use. All it is 2 pieces of wood that are screwed together with holes in the top. And then I put my metal in here and I turn it upside down just like this. That's all I use. Simple, easy to make. My husband had it made for me in 5 minutes because we had the extra wood around. You can have several of them. Sometimes I'll even spray paint my cups, put a piece of paper right here and turn them upside down so I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The other side, not so much. But that's my drying rack. I've had it for 3 years. There's no reason to get any of those extra super special ones. So I am going to give away 4 things. And the cup is one of them. I'm trying to find my alcohol. If you want to know what they are, I will show you. Or if you want to be surprised, I can surprise you. See, alcohol removes alcohol. I just posted something. Somebody found some alcohol on the internet. But who, you want to see it? Or do you, okay. I didn't know if you wanted to see the prizes or be surprised. I've got them sitting right here. Won't take me very long, but I have some good ones this time. Okay, the cup is one of them. I'm not going to tell you our special word just yet. If we have anyone that's new, do not put the special word in the remarks down here. They have to go to my page. Today is Tuesday the 16th. This will go through Thursday the 18th at noon. Thursday, June 18th at noon. So the cup will be one of them. I'm going to work on this a little bit more. I'm going to really rushed it. Please give it a little more time. You'll find that if you let it do what it's supposed to do on its own time, that the acrylic paint will actually work better for you. So this is one. Let's see, number 2. Do y'all want a tea strainer or do you want a mold? Tea strainer or mold? Anyone? Anyone? Tea strainer, mold, going once. Tea strainer or mold, going twice. I've even got one of the new molds to give away. I'm going to give a mold. It's the new agate. Somebody help me out here. It's the new one. This is the mold that will go out. We have tea strainer now. All right, so we won't do those extra things. I'll be nice and do to the tea strainer. So my daughter knows how to say this. So this is the first mold. These are really, really cool molds. And if you go to Stephanie's page or Stephanie's stuff, she'll tell you that she'll show you how to make something with this. All right, the tea strainer is going to be red. And here she is. Y'all know I use this for my, my ombres. So when you do your top and your top color one, your bottom color the other, after it's dried and you get ready to put the ombre down the center, you mix the colors together and you tap it. Best thing invented. Guys, this is the most amazing thing invented because it allows everything to go out at an even rate. So anyway, this is number 2. So we have a mold. This is the new one. This is literally just now coming out. And our tea strainer, red. And which one do I want to give you guys? The lucky winner of this one gets 2 of these. 2 of these. Are you ready? How do y'all like them apples? Look at that. Somebody's gonna get both of these. This one is Forget Me Not. It's absolutely gorgeous under epoxy. This is phenomenal. And this one is Pink Perfection, and it is exactly what the name says, okay? So somebody, the lucky winner, is gonna get both of these. One winner will get this, one winner will get this, and one winner will get the beautiful cup, all right? So our word is going to be Crackle. Send the word to Jennifer Stratton Short. Go to my messenger and send me the word Crackle. You have until Thursday, the 18th at noon. Anything past Thursday, June 18th at noon does not count. Friday or Saturday, one of those 2 days, last week I did it on Saturday, I will do the drawing and let the computer pick my people. Everyone who won the little prizes last week, those went out today. Again, the person who won the leather and lace cup, please contact me. I need to talk to you. Vicki, I gotcha. Y'all are already sending it in. All right, so that was my live for the day. I hope that I was able to help you guys out. If you have any questions about anything that I talked to you about, again, I'm gonna let this dry a little bit more. It needs to dry a lot more than a little bit more. It needs to dry a lot more. Then I'm gonna seal it under Mod Podge. Don't spray it or it's gonna turn green. This is great for Father's Day. So if y'all could get this done tonight and turning tomorrow, this would be a great cup for Father's Day. A hunting cup, whatever. So I hope you guys have a great day. I hope I was able to teach you a little something. I will be back again later on this week, pop up live someplace. I don't know what it's gonna be. Again, we have a lot of special stuff. We've got new cups that just came in. I just heard that she got a whole bunch of new stuff in, sitting in her living room right now, still in the boxes, and she's super duper excited about sharing it with you. But you're just gonna have to wait right along with the rest of us. I actually have to wait too. So anyway, I hope you have a great day and you guys stay safe out there. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.